out now with the Funk Apostles.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, so I'm looking at the schedule. Wait. Oh, no, it was over the 28th. So I hope you got to catch him, Corey Henry and the Funk Apostles.
Wow.
Yeah, so, well, let me see. No, he got some March dates.
Oh, does he? Okay. I need to get
some March dates.
I've been working on, I've been trying to work on anyway, getting Snarky Puppy to the Firehouse Cafe.
Yeah.
But I got to get Corey there too. Like,
yep, the Funk Apostles. So shout out to Corey and the Funk Apostles. And we did put up the video of Tre and Corey at the NAMM. So go to the website, itstreray.com. You can see all the videos. You can see Good Morning America. You can see Marsha, Jasmine, and as the good videos come up on YouTube, we'll put them up so that you can just go to the website, because it's just hard. We're trying to bring the vlogs back, but he's never sitting still, so that's hard.
Yeah.
So it's hard to video, and every artist doesn't like you to bring a videographer with you, so you got to be cognizant of that. So when people are asking, like, where are the vlogs, you can't bring a videologist.
It's their show.
It's their show, and people need to understand that. Like, sounds good, but it's not your show. So, so that's cool. I was also looking at some stuff that's going on in Philly, and I never really ever took the time to look at Live Nation, but I just looked it up. And I didn't know Maroon 5 was going to be here.
When?
March 9th.
Oh, wow, that's next week. That's this weekend. That's Sunday.
Monday.
That's Monday, okay.
Monday, Maroon 5. I didn't know that. The Wells Fargo Center.
Wow. I like your
Ariana Grande. I didn't know that.
I didn't know she was coming.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, March 12th. Yeah.
Because they've been talking about her on Good Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you like Neil Diamond, he'll be here on March 15th. And the Welcome Back concert with Meek Mills is going to be on the 21st.
Oh, wow.
So, welcome back. Welcome back. So, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hello Dolly and Hello Dolly and who else? Somebody else sang at the Marvin Sapp after concert. I know Pastor Waller sang Star Spangled Banner, but I can't think of who else sang. Somebody else sang, opened up for Marvin Sapp at the gospel night. So that's what's up. What else is going on? So did y'all hear that Puff Daddy is suing Empire?
No! Are you serious?
Yeah.
Because it's his story, right?
It's not your story.
Why is he saying that?
But that's what he's saying.
That's everybody's story. Like,
right. And if it wasn't making no money, would it be your story?
Exactly. Is he really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. Empire is the show. That show.
Now, I like that better than the Scandals and stuff.
Well, I've never seen Scandal. And I didn't see the first month because when it started, we were on consecration. So I haven't seen like the original show. So I started watching in February, and the very first episode, I was hooked. I was like, this show is
Empire. I had to watch it to get hooked because I didn't watch it either. Exactly. I think that's probably why I didn't watch it.
Because of consecration.
Because of like the fast, and I was really trying to. But saying Diddy is suing Empire, the word on the street is because he thinks the show is based on his life.
Whatever.
Have several seats.
Thank you. It's based on everybody's life.
So somebody said, okay, does that mean one of your sons is gay?
Ooh.
And that you killed Biggie?
Ooh, how about that?
Because he killed the guy, right?
Yeah. Yep. That just came out like last week or week before last that he did kill him. Right.
So they said, well, you got to take all that. Was Bad Boy founded on drug money?
Oh, probably.
Who went to jail for almost 2 decades for him?
Right. I don't know. I guess when Little Kim went to jail, I don't know.
Right.
Although she wasn't his woman. Wow.
Right.
But that's everybody's story that ever made it. Like, whatchamacallit can say that's his story. Jay-Z or, anybody that went from nothing to being this mega rap artist and mega empire. Wow. Right. Because actually, Empire, I actually did think it was more based on Jay-Z because he's that New York, New York Rockefeller and all that. That's what I thought. So, yeah, Puffy has several.
Puffy, sit down. Like, first of all, you got enough money. Like, are you going to take the money and donate it to somebody, or you just want to be like, because I know at the beginning of the season they were saying he told his son he couldn't be on it. Like, they had asked his son too, and he said that his son couldn't be on it. But shout out to the boy, the youngest brother, the rapper. He's from Philly.
Oh, yep.
You know, one man
too.
Huh?
Cute.
Yeah. And all of their songs and stuff are becoming
real songs.
Like going on iTunes.
Yes. Ain't that something now? And the dances and everything that they're making.
Like the drip drop songs. Yeah. See, I didn't be downloading them songs from Empire. Like, you're not going to make these show songs famous.
Right.
But that's why other people can't get in. Like, that's why, like, people who make albums, like, can't get in because you got all these one-hit songs that come from these TV shows or Sunday's Best or, you know,
Yeah.
So we have a caller. Let's see.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But I can't wait to see Empire tonight. I missed it last week because I went to see Limo.
You got to tell me about her.
Amazing.
Who's the caller?
Amazing. Is that our guest?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Is this Miss Ruth La'Ontra?
Yes, it is.
Did I pronounce it right? I pronounced it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Well, this is, are you still signed to Ty Scott?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure I get that right. So in the station is Karen K-Ro and Jay Smooth on the boards. And everybody, this is Ruth La'Ontra, Stellar nominated. I mean, her voice is incredible. I heard you that one time in Richmond, Virginia, and I've got your CD when you were there. And can I just tell you, I keep playing Count It All Joy like over and over.
Oh wow!
Like, yeah, I really like that song. I really do. Yeah, we played it all the way home back to Philly, so that was crazy. But how are you doing? The Stellars are coming up and everything. So tell everybody about you. You're from North Carolina, right?
Yes, I am from North Carolina, born and raised in a very small town by the name of Aberdeen. You probably never heard of it.
Nope.
It's not with the cows and the chickens and stuff in the morning time. We ain't that country, but we really small. Stellars is in March. I'm excited about that. I've been nominated for 2 on my first project. That is awesome. I've been nominated for Best New Artist and Traditional Female Artist of the Year.
Wow.
So I'm really, really, really excited about that. And I have a couple of events that I'll be attending while I'm in Vegas. This is my first time going to Vegas. So you already know.
I've never been to Vegas too. And when Trey was like, we're going to be in Vegas at the same time,
I hope you're coming, right?
I'm going to try to come. I'm going to try to come out there because he's going to be there. Jasmine's going to be there singing it.
Yes.
And then the Stellars is there.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try. I might try. That's the 28th, right? Well, I know your show is the 28th. That's crazy. So how did you get signed with Ty Scott? Because I know there's a lot, especially from Philly, but there's a lot of artists and there's people that listen in that are, silent listeners and how did you, and you say you're from a small town, so good things happen to people in small town. So tell us your story.
Well, my dad, he knows a lot of people. He's been in the radio industry for over 30 years. He's been a radio announcer. He's the president of the North Carolina Gospel Announcers Guild. And so he knows everybody. He knew Ty Scott to them. Every year I had to go to GMWA, and he would introduce me to people. But, and first of all, let me say this. Ty Scott was always a label that I wanted to be signed to when I was a little girl.
Oh, wow.
I was a part of that label, and I think 4 years ago, I went to the GMWA, I forget where it was, and I was talking to Sidney Scott, and we were just talking, he was just asking me questions, and 3 years later, they was playing my song, Sidney was playing my song in the studio or whatever, and Brian Scott walked past the door and was like, who in the world was that?
Oh, wow.
Like, that's the girl I've been telling you about. That's Zed's daughter, because I took off Jones off of my last name, so people would be like, that's our Victor Jones' daughter, so I had to create my own name. That's why I stick with Ruth La'Ontra.
Okay.
So that's how Ty Scott came about. It was actually 2 labels that wanted me, but I went with Ty Scott, and before I actually signed with Ty Scott, I did a CD soundtrack for a movie called Iniquity. Then that was first, and then 2 weeks later, I think, or a month later, Tice got called.
Wow.
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 Yeah.
Wow. So we're going to play Count It All Joy, actually, and then you want to introduce it, and then we'll come back.
Okay, well, this is Count It All Joy. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you may face, always keep a smile on your face, keep your head up, and count it all joy.
Hey, oh, okay. Is she back in? Sing, girl!
Count it all joy.
Girl, you better sing.
I love it. Wow.
Oh, high and stuff.
Yeah.
Girl, you better sing.
He worked the mess out of me on that song. I was so mad at him when I was in the studio. He kept telling me, sing this part, sing how. I said, Bubby, leave me alone.
Oh, who did that? Bubby Fan?
Yeah, Bubby.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Bubby Fan.
I hear it. Sounds like Bubby. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, New Jersey's own. Hey, Atlantic City's own.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did Bubby wrote that?
Yeah, Bubby wrote that.
Yeah. Wow.
Sound like him, Karen?
It does.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
He had a sky house.
Yeah, that's him.
And give us some water.
Wow.
Just go hard and dry like this.
Shout out Bubby Fan.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So where can everybody find you in Las Vegas? What are some of the places you're going to be?
I'll be at, you know what, I always get the places wrong. So, like, if they follow me on social media.
Yeah, they just follow you. How can they follow you?
At Ruth La'Ontra, RUTHLAONTRA. I'm on everything. And if my face was still on pop, we'll be on that too.
You still be on, and I like your background singers. And your friend, I actually follow him too. The guy that backgrounds for you. Is that like one of your friends?
Yes, Rashad.
He is so funny. He can sing too.
Yeah.
He is hilarious. I follow him too. He is hilarious. Wow. So I'm excited. You know, I'm proud of all of our young adults that are just doing things and making moves and, you know, not getting caught up in a bunch of extra stuff, but just, you know, going and so I'm proud of you, and I'll definitely be praying for you that
Thank you.
You know, that God will continue to do his work and everything that's yours, you get it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to leave with everybody?
Well, I want to say to all my young people, and not even young people alone, older people as well, if you have something that you want to do that you're not yet fulfilling it, please do it. Yeah. It's not too late to start living your dream. Don't just let your dream be a dream, but actually let your dream become a reality. It's going to take time. It's going to take work. But also remember that you have to put in hard work in everything you do, hard work and dedication, and you'll reach your goal.
It's worth it. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Can you leave a drop for Tre? All you have to say is, this is Ruth La'Ontra, and I'm with the drummer, and I'm on the one.
Yes. What up, y'all? This is Ruth La'Ontra. I'm with Tre. Wait, let me go to
I'm with the drummer.
What is it? It's Tre the drummer, right?
Yeah. No, I'm with the drummer. Take two.
I'm with the drummer.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What up, y'all? This your girl, Ruth La'Ontra. I'm with the drummer. Stay tuned. We on the one.
All right.
Thank you. Hope to see you in Vegas, because what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Wow, that was good.
That was good. And she was phenomenal. Like, when I saw her, you know who had her? Bishop Rudy had her at his music conference.
Oh, okay.
And she sang, and that was my first time hearing her. And it wasn't a whole lot of people there, but she killed it. So much too, like, I had to buy the album. Like, she was hitting notes that were, like, crazy. Yeah, and
Tamaya J. That's who you was thinking about. Was that who you was thinking about?
No, it's another girl. She's older now.
Okay. Kim McFarland?
It's going to come to me.
Okay.
It's going to come to me. But she reminded me of her when she sang that day. So, but phenomenal. So follow her, Ruth La'Ontra. Dreams do come true.
Records. I know.
Records. Yeah.
And just the way everything happened for her, it was the hand of the Lord. That's when you see the providence of God, that he just happened to be walking by and said, who is that? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's God. That's God's providence.
Yeah.
And so I had yesterday, I was talking to Stephen Ford, and she said just what he did, that yes, your gifting is important, your talent is important, God's hand in it is important, but hard work.
Wow.
Nothing just comes easy. It takes hard work.
And relationships with people, because you never know. You never know when you either will leave a gig and then go to another gig or get fired from a gig, you know? But just because you get fired, it doesn't mean that you and that person or that artist, it doesn't mean that it's your craft. You just might not work or gel with that person, and so then you'll need another relationship with somebody. So to your point, you know, God is just
all you artists out there that are like burning bridges, like stop it, because like you say, you never know when you might have to cross over the bridge again. We have a caller.
Hello.
Caller, you live on Out with the Drummer. Hello.
Hello. What's up? How are you all?
Good. Is this, all right, now pronounce it. Is this Georgie?
This is George, yes.
Okay, what is your full name?
My full name is George. I go by George Potts Young. I use my mom's maiden name and my dad's name.
Okay.
I just know people by their social media handles, Tre's friends. Like, I don't...
Exactly. You know, it's funny. Everywhere I go, people will see me and they're like, you're at the GorgyPorgy, aren't you? So, yeah. So, I hold on. Before we get started, let me tell you, I've been listening. I've been enjoying you guys. You guys are hilarious. But that is blasphemy. You cannot say that Empire is better than Scandal.
What? Well, okay,
you know what?
Scandal,
she never saw Scandal. I just said, because I'm a pastor.
Okay.
So, as a pastor, I said this at a women's conference, George, that it's oxymoron for you to cheer on
the mistress.
I got you.
But when I'm at a conference, y'all slayed and falling out on the floor because you want your husband to come home. Like, that's, come on. Like,
but on Thursday night, you celebrate.
Come on here.
Team Olivia and Pleasant.
Come on here. Now, come on here. Now, come on. Now, you wasted my oil and my anointing.
But you know what? I'm a fan of Empire too. I drip, drop,
listen.
I'll be jamming today, you know?
Listen, it's crazy that, you know, I say this, and I ask Tre this all the time, like, is music becoming so crowded because you got Sunday Best every season, you got these shows that...
American Idol.
You got Glee, The Voice. Right. I mean, it's just so many... tunes that are coming out. So, you know, the artists that are in the studio making albums, it's hard for them to put out an album or an EP because you have all these extra musical affairs going on. So
yeah, it's crazy because you know, I think the state of the music period, the industry, I think it's changed so much. And to me, I must be honest, I know there may be some musicians out there who probably disagree, but I think that it's almost going, now the creativity of it I think is good, but I think that the moral and the work ethic, I think it's going in the opposite direction, only because we have, like, now in this society, especially my generation and younger, it's like we're just add water generation. Like, whatever's the quickest, whatever's going to make the money the fastest, we're like, just add water. We want an instant fame. We want an instant, success. And they don't want to put the work in it. So therefore, you have all of these different outlets where I think it's great that you have shows and it's great that you have these reality shows, but when they're thrown into that, they don't have the work ethic or even sometimes the morals to even maintain themselves at the level. So you win this show, you get this big free record deal, you got people who've been slaving in studios, and I know everybody's path and journey is different, so you get that, but then there's nobody to teach you or train you, or you don't even have the skills to stay at that level. So you win it, you put your first album out, you do well, then the next thing we know, you're under the bridge and you're homeless and you're on drugs. It's like, okay, well,
why?
Well, first of all, let's back up, because Tre, I thank God that the prayers of the righteous availeth much, and not to be so heavily minded that I'm no earthly good, but the Lord has really orchestrated Tre's path that I don't really ever have to worry about where he is and what happens to him, especially when he goes on the West Coast, because he has some phenomenal big brothers and sisters that take care of him. So I want to introduce to everybody, if you know him from social media, Mr. JorgyPorgy. But he's a beast when it comes to background vocals, and he has some other things going on that he's going to introduce himself about. But Tre met him through Google. Okay. And he backgrounds for Erica and Mary.
Okay.
So he actually took Tre to the game when that what was the coach or the owner?
Yeah, it was the playoffs for the Clippers and the Golden State Warriors.
Right, and when Tre was like, I'm sitting here on the floor at the game because George is the praise and worship leader at Mark Jackson's church.
Oh, wow.
So he was just he has built so many good relationships, and that's what we talk about all the time with a lot of, like you're saying, like these young artists that get these opportunities to tour and play, and then they don't build relationships as they go along. So after that one album or after that opportunity is over, now you're home about to have a nervous breakdown because you haven't built those relationships along the way. So tell us what you got, what George is all about, because you're weighing in on these conversations heavily, and that's because you're in the industry and you know what's going on. So tell us about George.
Okay, well, first I'm gonna tell you, Mom, Tre that is my adopted little brother. That when I tell you, you've done a great job with him, and especially for him, I always forget that he's as young as he is because he's so wise, and he's even had like some great experiences that have taught him. So he makes you proud when he comes out here on the West Bank, on the West Coast. My bad. Really, he handles himself so well and respectfully and respectably. You know, it's like you've done a great job with him. So, and I forgot that he told me you were a pastor, so now that makes sense. He don't really just well PK all the time, but it makes sense because he acts like he has sense. So that makes sense. But anyway,
but you can beat him, though. You can beat him.
Exactly, I got you. Just to give a little bit of background of who I am, I actually began, singing in church like we all basically did, with a two-bit choir role at a Baptist church. You know, my mom was the choir director, and I did that for years. Went and just joined the choir. Went to college in New Orleans. Joined the choir at Bishop Paul Martin's church. I was 18, and at 19, he asked me to come on staff. Fast forward a couple of years, I became his minister of music of the church in New Orleans, and that's how I began really in the music industry. Although I promised God and everybody else, I'm like, I'm never going to work for a church. I don't want to do it. I've been in church all my life. I'm just going to, I had my whole worldly plan set up, and of course, you know how God is. He just comes through and busts it all up, and then you find yourself back into the place that you said you weren't going to be. So I started doing that, and then it started by me singing backup. My first backup gig actually was for Dorinda Clark Cole.
Oh, okay.
And somebody asked me to come and do that. I did that, and from there, it just caught on, and then I began producing the Essence Fest Gospel stage. We do a stage every year during Essence Fest, and we do a tribute to gospel artists or pastors or whatever. So I started doing that, and then that's really how I became kind of, especially amongst the gospel singers and celebrities, I guess, if that's a term to use for church people, but that's how I became kind of known to them and started really being active in what I consider the music industry. But because of where I come from, I don't want to say a ghetto place, because my mom's like listening, but I come from a place where it's just a very real place where we love God. We went to church every Sunday, but we also had real life experience. We didn't live in a Holy Ghost bubble. So because I have those two things that come together, I'm a realist, and I understand grace, I understand mistakes, I understand all of that. So my outlook on the music industry comes from a very real place as far as understanding that it doesn't matter how great you sing. It doesn't matter how great you do what you do if what's inside of you is not good. If what's inside of you is not at a level or at, worth being honored or something that you can be proud of, then it doesn't matter because you're not going to be sustained at the level. My pastors always say, you can't ask God to take you somewhere where your character or your integrity can keep you.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
You mess up a whole lot of people. And I've been saying that for years. We have a lot of, and even going back to what we were talking about relying on your giftedness and your talent. We have a lot of gifted and talented people in the church, but they have no character. And not only does it mess them up, it messes up a lot of other people that are watching them.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's true. I want to say part of it is the church's job. I'm not going to say But I'll say it's a part of the church's job and responsibility to make sure that when we put these gifts on display and when we allow these people to go forth at church, that the pastors and these leaders are taking responsibility of saying, okay, now we're going to do this, but I need you to talk to me. What you're going through, you need me to pray you through some stuff. Or I might say you are the best singer in the world, but right now, you don't need to be leading praise and worship. I need you just to sit under me, make sure you get Bible study, make sure, and make sure you get in counseling or whatever. I think that in churches sometimes we promote the gift so much that we forget about the inside.
Right, and there are a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of mental issues because everybody is really not a first-generational church person, or even if they're not a first-generational person, just people are dealing with mental issues, period. Yeah. So, there's some things, to your point, that pastors have to recognize and not just, to your point, pimp out people.
There you go.
Because they're gifted. Yep. But, I now it makes sense to me why you and Tre click and why he clicks with you all, because, I was born and raised in a part of Philadelphia that at the time, wasn't the best part, and my father really wanted to prove to our church that you can raise people there, but it has since come back to life and is now mixed and very diverse. So to your point, like the realness of when all of this is done, at the end of the day, you got to go home and be a real person. Yeah. Like, when we're off the stage, it's about your character that really matters, so I understand why you guys click. So you said that you produce, so how important, and I know if Tre was here, he'd ask you this question too, how important is different streams of revenue? Because you just said about 7 things that you do.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I'm the hustle man in the kingdom of God. Do you know what? I'll tell you, this one in 2014 and like this part of 2015, I do whatever. I was talking to Pastor Campbell, and I'm about to start working with her come April, and she was like, man, she's done Essence a few times, and we're actually honoring her this year at Essence. And I wish I could say these names, but I know I would get in trouble if I don't. But there's going to be some good people that are going to come and honor her this year, actually from the secular side as well. But I was telling her, I'm like, you know what, I'm just a hustle man, so you might call me and say, can you come and sing back up, and I sing back up, and then you ask me, to help you organize your street team, I'll do that for a small fee as well. So whatever you ask me to do, I'm going to be on it and do it. So, multiple streams of income are very important. I think I always tell people, you have to give yourself room. So if I'm a singer and I say, I just want to take a break from singing for the next 6 months. Well, if that's what I rely on for my income, then when I'm not singing, then I'm not making money. But if I'm not singing and I say, well, God gave me a vision for a T-shirt line. Well, I can start my T-shirt line while I'm not singing. I can focus on that. I don't have to get on the plane and do. I don't have to spend as much time doing that as I'm doing singing. So I put that into play, and then maybe I might have a nonprofit organization. I want to help people. I want to do community service things. So, I think it's very important in this modern day society. Of course, it was different. Like I said earlier, the music industry was totally different when we were kids, or even before we were born. People bought albums. Right. People supported your Diana Rosses and your Aretha Franklins and all these, and your Marvin Gaye. So because these people were supported big time, and their careers were built, to me, what I would consider more on substance, their careers were more sustained. Right. Even when they weren't singing, they still had their business in order because they worked with good people, and people had just more morals. Nowadays you got to worry about everybody trying to get in your pocket. If Oprah said, make sure you sign your checks, that's important because you don't know what people are doing, and as much as you want to trust everybody, and that includes in the church, it's just hard to do that. So with those multiple streams of income, I'm a firm believer that God will give you vision. Right. I'm a firm believer that God will show you different things. Your gift will make room for you, and I think we forget that the first gift ever, in the beginning, God created. Right. The first gift was creativity. Right. So we all have that in us. We all have the gift to develop and create, and that's really where I am. I want to be able to have so many things going to where I can sit still and take a break, and I still have money coming in.
That's what I'm talking about.
I know that's right. Go make you a juice or something.
And in the kingdom, I think you get two different sides of it. Some people say you shouldn't preach prosperity, and some people say, well, why wouldn't we be prosperous? And God said that above all things, I want you to be of good health and prosperous. So I feel like it's good to do when your intent and your heart is good. Hey, go for it.
But listen, now what you want to eat Because a man that don't work don't eat. Now, it depends on what you want to eat. Because there's levels to eating. And I tell people that all the time. It's levels to this. Now,
there's levels to it, and I don't want to do bologna. I did that when I was a kid, but I don't want to do bologna or sardines.
It's levels to this. I want to be, and if I do decide that I want peanut butter crackers because I'm on the run, I also want to be able to be out of town and I can go to a good steakhouse. Yeah. So, I think...
Now, you see, that's why I love you. Come on.
I think people need to realize that and not be sitting around waiting for the next tour or waiting for the next gig or waiting, because that's when, again, it goes back to character, and now you stabbing people in the back because, you go on a substitute gig and now you're trying to take it.
Yeah, you're struggling, and trust me, in this industry, it is very hard. Yeah. Even for me, I would say probably 2014 was my most, if it makes sense, my most rewarding year, but it was the biggest struggle year of my life because I had gone on tour with Erica. We did a promo tour, and then the tour stopped, and then we were supposed to do another tour, and then that stopped, and then I got a call from somebody else, and I was going to do this, and then that fell through. And so it's up and down like that. And so you have to not only be smart as far as saving and finances, but when I tell you, I don't see how anybody in the music industry could not love God and could not have a relationship with God, because that faith is what carried me through.
I know that's right. Don't make me run up in here.
I'm not trying to be deep. I'm just being straight up real with you. Know what I'm saying? Because
you're saying the same thing that Tre would say. I mean, he would. I think all of us would say that. Yeah. All of us would say that. Faith is what carries us through. Even as a pastor, and I had to go to my church the other week and say, listen, it's been close to a doggone tsunami with snow, and that means the church attendance and all of those things. But faith kept us opening the doors, and people coming in, and people still getting saved, and all of those things. So faith is what really carries us through life, and you're exactly right with that. So before we let you go, now tell me. So you said the essence. Now what goes into production? Because that's a whole lot too.
Essence, man, y'all should come. Y'all need to come to that. So basically what happens every Essence weekend, that Sunday of Essence, we take over the, basically, well, I don't know if you've ever been before, but every day of Essence Festival, during the daytime, they have these seminars. When I say ranging from Michelle Obama's on panels to Destiny's Child on panels, and Mary reality star, like literally everybody. Like on this year, I know this year for sure they have like a lot of reality stars that'll be on there. You have your Cornel West that come, you have politicians that are there, you have big singers like the Braxton Sisters, like all these people come and they different seminars every single day, and it's like probably in each day, I would think probably close to 30 panelists throughout the day, and it's free, all free. What happens is on that Sunday, then instead of seminars and panels, they do the big gospel tribute. We host this big gospel tribute, and we honor somebody. So last year we honored Yolanda Adams. The year before that, we did Donnie McClurkin and Tremaine Hawkins. So this year is Campbell, and basically my job actually now is to make sure all of the music is together. I get all the background singers, I coordinate the musicians, I make sure I interact with the artists to put their set together, make sure it sounds good, make sure it is good, and then the day of, then I'm running back and forth, making sure they're good. When you, and Pastor, I know you get this, when you grow up in church, you kind of learn to serve, especially when your parents are leaders. Right. Learn to serve. You learn to make sure. So even when I was with Bishop Morton, it was like I was the minister of music, but there was times I was the air conditioner man, and if something happened and I needed to go grab a broom and clean this up because I knew, we had a special guest coming through and the janitor wasn't around, then I had to do that. And so I do that because that serving part is just in me. Right. Now if you looked at my bedroom, you probably would not think the same thing. But outside of my home, I am a servant. Like I just make sure everything is taken care of. So when in essence I'm mainly over the music, but I'm kind of just make sure everything is running smoothly and interacting with everybody that's on the team with us. So it's just awesome. Like it's fun and it's exciting because you have all these singers that come, and like last year you had Erica that sang. You had like when they were honoring Yolanda Adams, it was literally everybody from the youngest, like the Walls group, to people like Erica Campbell and all the in-betweens. Michelle Williams was there. Anita Wilson was there. So you have on every level think people that everybody can, enjoy. And the audience is we get probably about between 10 and 12,000 people every year.
Wow.
So a lot of those people aren't church people.
Right.
The people that are in town that probably, was dancing to Usher the night before, and then was like, Lord, we need to get a little Jesus in us.
Right.
We go back and
Right.
So they come and they pack it out, and you can just feel weights lifted in there. And for me, that's what's important.
Yeah.
I'm a talker, and I love to talk to people, and I love for people just to enjoy themselves and not feel judged and not feel anything.
Right.
You need to get delivered and all of that. But I'm not Jesus. I can his mouthpiece and kind of talk with you about what Jesus is and who he is and all of that. But when I can sense and feel those weights lifted, and people come up afterwards and they want to take pictures and they like, we just enjoyed it. It was so much fun, and we cried through that's fun. I'm glad. I'm like, you saw Jesus. That's good.
Right.
Now take them with you tonight to the concert.
Right. And there's definitely going to be, and people don't realize that there's going to be pluralism before there becomes singularism. So people are going to try Jesus with what they have already.
Right.
And before they become singularly and sold out for Jesus. And so we have to stop being so judgmental and all those things. But I don't mind being Tre's mother because I be meeting some really good people,
Yeah.
And now I know
I'm glad to meet you. And I'm going to steal that you just said. That sometimes it's pluralism before singularism. I'm going to steal that. Now, let me tell you, the first 2 times I posted, I'm going to definitely give you credit. Okay?
But after that,
just send me a little tithe. When I say your name at the door, let me in. Don't act like you don't know me. But thank you so much. And again, thank you to you, to Shani, to Google, to I can't think of the crew, all the hairdressers, all of them.
Yeah.
All of y'all for watching over Tre and being the big brothers and the big sisters. And I mean, I'm praying for your success. I'm praying for that God will continue to cultivate those things you learned in church. And we despise those small beginnings. But to your point, reading them church announcements and having a clipboard and being over Men's Day and Women's Day, that you was a project manager and you never knew
it, right?
that stuff was going to turn into the Essence Festival,
Right.
So
that's true.
So,
and I thank you too for allowing Tre, just to come out here and be in our lives, because he's added to us as well. Even though he's the youngster around us, he's still a blessing to us, and he said some stuff that we need to hear. Sometimes when we get older, we still can take the younger people and they kind of put us in, get us in order too. So it works both ways.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. And everybody follow at JorgyPorgy.
Yeah, how do you spell it? Because I'm looking for it now.
JorgyPorgy.
Oh, it's a J. Okay.
At THE. At THEJorgyPorgy.
Oh, okay. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay.
At THEJorgyPorgy.
Okay.
I'll be sure to follow y'all back.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but just look for the picture of George and Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we.
Okay. Give us a drop before you hang up. Just say your name and you're with the drummer and you're on the one.
All right. What's up, everybody? This is George. Oh, let me do that again. I'm doing this. I'm messing up. Okay, here we go.
Take 2.
Hey, everybody. What's up? This is George. I'm with the drummer, and we're on the one.
Thank you.
All right, y'all have a great day.
You too.
You too.
That's
amazing.
Yeah, what we gonna play?
You want to play something from Jasmine?
Yeah, play the Mascara.
Mascara? Okay. Jasmine Sullivan from her latest CD. Here is Mascara. I'm with the drummer.
Stay mad, 'cause I'm living the life, 'cause I'm living the life. People think I'm shallow 'cause I'm always dressed like I'm going out to the club, but I gotta keep up 'cause there's no fix to popping up every day. Same thing. So I never leave the house without running to the money, 'cause you never know who's watching. stay on. I gotta stay on. Stay on. No, I ain't got a job, but so what? So what? Gotta be everything you want, everything that you ask for. All of everything just been ready. And you stay mad, but the work is so hard, while the work is so small. It's all just a play, and you live in this world, and you beauty in the hills, and you got me on the way, but the scriptures are loud, and come every day, same day. So I never leave the house without running to the market, but you never know who's watching. So I gotta stay on. I gotta stay on. Stay on. I gotta stay on. Stay on. How you looking at me like that? It ain't attractive when you looking at me like that. But don't be mad, 'cause why you took a minute for your brother to be in again, like you know you better act me so. I deserve to be brother. I deserve to give it back. 'Cause it ain't easy, it's fun all the time. 'Cause if you was the way I could do it, but we can't now. So we won't get my vibe. Don't let you help stress my name, never be by. I gotta stay on. Running to the market, but you never know who's watching. I gotta stay on. I gotta stay on.
So it was a good show today. Thank you to George at the JorgyPorgy, JorgyPorgy. Doing some great things.
Yeah.
He'll be producing the Essence Festival Gospel Stage. So if you'll be there over July 4th weekend, they're going to be honoring Campbell. So that's I'm just excited about that.
Yeah.
And the people that are going to be honoring her are going to be both spiritual and secular.
Because Kim is admired.
You know when P. Diddy, when she did that tribute to Whitney Houston that time, and all those people were in the audience where did she come from? And she was incredible at Jeff's thing, Singing Love. Music Soul Child, I'll not ever sing that again. Like, she was incredible. And to Ruth La'Ontra, Stellar nominated. Shout out to you for calling in. And these are all Tre's friends. So we thank you for taking the time out to talk to us today and to talk to the guests about, multiple streams of revenue and how important it is to just really be faithful and to have faith and your gift making room for you. And again, it's understandable why he has these relationships with these people, because they're all full of character and integrity. And I think that's what really says a lot as an artist, your character and your integrity, and not burning bridges, to your point, that you can, call people and people can be guests on your show, like even when you're not here.
Right.
So we're out. Go to the website, it's treray.com, and you can see all the clips and where the shows are. I think next week we might have a good announcement, especially for Philly people. So next week. So we're out, and thanks for listening to I'm WIT Da Drummer.
On the one.